everyone. Today we're out on a quick overnight trip. Pekko and I were going to go hiking yesterday, and like normal, life stuff happens, and we're going to get out today. Nothing too terribly crazy, going to test out some new gear. Going to go and maybe spend the night at the shelter or hammock camping. We're going to have to see what happens when we get there. Hello everybody. We're out today on a Saturday hike, doing a brief overnighter back home in wonderful Wild and Wonderful. And so I am here with Fluffy McFlufferson, and we're gonna do, like I said, an overnighter tonight. Something real simple, real easy. So we're gonna go ahead and test out some new gear that we got in. New backpack, rocking the ULA. Great pack, full of way too much stuff. Come on, Becky. So we're gonna go ahead and try to maybe test some of this gear out, and new camera that I got. Something that's a little bit lighter and cheaper alternative to a GoPro. But we'll see if that works. We'll see if any of that stuff works. Yeah, hike's not too terribly far, but we have to be moving because you cannot be a serious outdoor YouTuber with a dog unless you camp in the rain. Rain's coming about 5. We got about 2 hours to get to our camp before the rain sets in, and then we're gonna just film and have fun. So let's go ahead and see what happens, and hopefully this works. That is not supposed to be snapped off like that. So yeah, now that thankfully it's just the attachment for it. But well, let's hope it's not a predictor of other things to happen tonight, right, Becky? Right, Pekko? Oh, yay, switchbacks. This rock is mine. Come on, Peggy. Struggle's over here. You know, this is so much easier when this works. There is a substantial firing range not too far from the trail, and well, it'll be interesting how Pecky reacts. He got a little scared. Are you down there, buddy? I can't see. He got a little scared Nothing too crazy. But it's even on top of the ridge here. We're getting close to the top of the ridge. When I look out, you can see it's big. There's a bunch of different areas. That's always a knock for this hike, is that you are very, very close to a very big range. I mean, there's buildings, complexes, and so I'm sure that well, on the plus side, it'll scare the bears away. I forgot the bear spray. So we shall move on. Pekko wants to get moving, so we're going to get up to that shelter. Well, it must not be that bad. He stops where it smells. Come on. Mush. Mush. This is the first time Pecky's pulled me uphill. Usually he's trying to throw me down them. Private Pecky and I have made it to the sentry post for the evening. The battle rages on in the valley. I don't know about you, Pecky, but this looks like a pretty nice spot. And look, it even has one of those things I can't say which is correct. The bear canister thingy. Oh, Pecky, that's a bear pole. We're going to get it right from now on because we're smart. Pekko. Now, some of the visually astute watchers of this channel might notice I'm missing a few hairs up top. And it's telling me that the rain's starting to come in. Definitely is going to be a fun sound tonight with the metal roof. What do you think, Pekko? Are we high and dry? Are we high and dry? You want a treat? Do you want steak? Do you want chicken? Do you want pets? It's gonna be fun. But I think the goal is to not have a care in the world and just enjoy. Well, I'm gonna go do some camp chores and clean up my camp pack mess explosion, and then we're gonna get on to some dinner. Got a little firewood squirreled away for tomorrow for a coffee maybe. Rain's supposed to stop around 5, 6 a.m. All right, Pekko. Top bunk or bottom bunk? Top bunk or bottom bunk? Bark once for top, twice for bottom. Pekko. Oh, the hard decisions. I can tell you what isn't a hard decision. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this top bunk is pretty sweet. I don't think we're decided yet. Now, normally we don't go hiking in the rain. So this is a new thing for us. We generally avoid the rain if we can help it. Not actively choosing to go out and hike in it. But it is kind of nice to just be out in the woods in the rain. I don't do it enough. So we're going to be basically... Pekko, come here. Basically just like hanging out. And just enjoying the sights, the smells, the sounds. I think I'm gonna cook early and get the food ready, and then just enjoy it. There's a little bit of a view. I'm up on a ridge, and I can see through the trees. Spring hasn't sprung yet. We still have a few more weeks to go. We were hiking last year in south of here in Virginia, and some of the mountains were a little bit taller, and you could see in the valley where the leaves had bloomed, and then as you got higher and higher and higher, then the leaves were not there. So you had this real like gray to green transition. It was really, really interesting. But yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and enjoy the sights and sounds here for a few minutes, and then maybe get started on dinner. Pekko? Pekko, you want noms? Chicken? Steak? Do you want to go for a walk in the bark park? He's not like this at home. He never stops barking. I guess somebody forgot to tell the son that this was supposed to be a rain camping video. So while we have a little break in the action, I did pick up one of these little titanium grills. They're really light, like about 4 ounces. Put a couple rocks together, and we're going to go ahead and we'll give the grilling a shot tonight. I hope that's stable enough. We'll see what happens. Now, just in case there's any issues, we do have the superior stick at the ready. And that one's for Pekko. We've got a little gap in the radar, so we're going to go ahead and get our chefing in while we can. Pekko's looks good. Maybe with this one we'll try a little flame licking. Now, contrary to popular belief, Montreal doesn't only make steak seasoning, or they don't make only Montreal steak seasoning. They do make chicken seasoning, which is what this bad boy was in. And since I forgot my barbecue sauce, I hope it tastes good. Losing the seasoning on the grill. Of course, it's got to stay over the heat. It's not going to cook over a rock. Well, not that rock. That sounds a little better. It certainly is easier than the superior stick. Of course, I say that now. Ask me after I burned my hands 5 times. There we go, getting a little roasted. Oh, now we're talking. Hot, 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 hot. With our powers combined. It's almost dinner time, Pekko. What do you hear? Sweet. course, what's the chances I'll forget that there tomorrow? So Pekko gets to eat really good tonight. We got a mixture of sweet potato and some dog food. And we're gonna cut him up some chicken. There was another dog that just walked by a second ago, a couple day hikers. All right, Pekko. I'm mixing it in this time. Hey, Pekko. Who wants noms? Come on, up. Oh, you got stuck. Come on, up. Pekko, eat your dinner. Well, I'm going to eat my dinner while it's still warm. So unfortunately, I didn't pack the right stuff for dinner. The chicken, I forgot my barbecue sauce. And I did grab a couple cheese strings. So I got chicken breast, and then I grabbed the Mountain House meal for the morning, but that was chicken and dumplings by accident and not scrambled eggs. So I will just enjoy the chicken because it tastes really good. But this sous vide chicken is just so easy to do on the trail. I think I'm going to start to experiment with those. It just makes things so easy. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and have some of the chicken here. And if I get a little hungry later on, I'll save some chicken for me, or possibly some of Pekko's since he didn't eat the rest of his. And then from there, I'll make that Mountain House meal if I'm hungry later on. It's not that early. Well, I take that back. It's not that late. So it's 5:45. Let's see how she goes. I might run into Hiker Midnight, but I didn't really hike very far, so I can't really have Hiker Midnight. And who knows? Maybe I'll stay up and enjoy the rain. Wait a sec. Something's missing. All better. Pekko's so wired into that dog. Can't focus on his own dinner. We'll save it for a snack for later. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this. And then we'll see when the rain comes in. For those who want the secret family recipe, we did 135 degrees for 2 hours. And chicken breast comes out like perfect. So tender, so easy to chew. I got a little cooked on the end from the fire. Like you barely have to try. When I started cooking chicken sous vide It made it so much better. This is just straight chicken breast. Of course, barbecue sauce always makes it taste a little better too. But, I mean, you can just, you don't even need to try. It almost peels like fish. And for the record, Montreal seasoning for chicken is phenomenal on chicken. Montreal steak seasoning for steak is good on steak, although I do prefer making my own. Do not put Montreal steak on chicken. These things are pretty nifty. Basically, we got a long stick that we can then use. Just go ahead and put it up on there. Of course, it's chained to the pole, so it doesn't go anywhere or gets lost in the process. But yeah, that's super helpful. And it looks like we got the real rain coming in now. So we're gonna go ahead, get everything we can in the shelter as best we can. I threw a couple logs on just to see what would happen when the rain goes on it. Well, Pekko and I have finished dinner. Got a little bit of fire left. We'll see how long she holds up in the rain. Probably not very. Right now, we're just gonna go ahead and relax under here and listen to the sound of the rain on the roof. What do you think of that, Pekko? Bark, 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 bark. Pekko. I swear, I think he misses his two brothers. Or, well, his nephew and his cousin. The sound of the rain is so relaxing. I might take a little nap before my nap. I was just sitting there minding my own business, half asleep. And I thought, you know what? It's a nice night for some tea. I'm going to carry it all up here. I might as well enjoy it. I do have an alcohol stove to heat up any water I might need. But since I got the fire going, I figured, why not? Gives you something to do for a little while. I think I actually have it with me. Do 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 do. Tonight on the Civil War. What I was going to say, I brought along for testing out a titanium coffee pot press, because I would like to start drinking coffee more often on the trail. I've always been buying the Starbucks Vides, and they're good, but they're they're expensive. They're light, and if you're going to go out for one night, that's just that's awesome. But I wanted to grab something just to try to make some real coffee. So tomorrow morning we're going to try to make some coffee with a coffee press. But inside of the coffee press, I think I bought the titanium hot lips thing. I think this might be the first time I've actually drank a hot beverage out of that thing. Normally I'm just boiling water for dehydrated meals or whatever. So yeah, hot lips might be a thing. Of course, I'm way too lazy to go get them. And besides, it's chilly enough out, and the weather, well, and the titanium will not retain heat very long. It's actually about perfect drinking temperature right now. So yeah, a little tea in the afternoon. And the wind has shifted perfectly, so the smoke from the fire is going right at me. It's inevitable. So yeah, this is some tasty tea. Just the right time too. Pekko's just been in one spot for the last hour. He's kind of chilling down there, not worrying about much. So I did a little bit of a test on that new camera I got, the Akaso Brave 7. It has the audio issue, so almost all of the footage I used with that today it sounds horrible. So I'll have to download it, see what happens, or maybe there's bad bunches and good bunches, but it's unusable. Well, I believe at this time it is unusable. So I'm going to film the rest on the Panasonic and the iPhone as best I can. Even still, I bought that camera for, well, for camera shots that maybe you want to do and not worry about losing $500. So I've got some mounts for the outside of the car. I will do some videos with that camera, since I don't have to worry about the audio when I do that. I'd like to start making time-lapse driving videos. I've always been a real big fan of those videos, and I watch a bunch of them on YouTube when they drive across the countryside for hours, and then they speed it up and they put some fun music to the background, especially when you get out west. It just, when everything just opens up, like, and you can just see forever, and the countryside goes by. And in our trips, most of them, we've driven on a lot of those roads. So the nostalgia of going back and seeing somebody else do those drives is pretty cool. So it'll be kind of a fun little feature to add to the videos we make. I'm looking forward to it. Looks like it might be a light, steady rain the whole entire night. They did say something about thunderstorms being a possibility. I don't think you're particularly safer in a shelter when it comes to lightning. I've always wondered, though, like, and I don't know how you would test this. So you always are worried about these, when you're out in thunderstorms, you're sleeping in a tent or wherever. Obviously going to a car is the safest thing because of the steel cage or whatever metal that they use around it. But I was wondering, if you were in a hammock, you're up against two trees,
and let's just say lightning strikes one of the trees, you're up off the ground, so you wouldn't have that shock from the traveling out to the ground. That kills a lot of people and injures them, and you would be kind of suspended between the two. And I'm wondering, like, if the electricity would just absolutely blow out the suspension, and in the time that it takes for you to fall from above the ground to on the ground, whether the electricity would have done its thing and already dissipated. So basically, like, it would nuke the sides of your hammock, and then you would fall down, and in that time, if somebody were, say, standing on the ground or in a tent, they would be hit and struck, but you would be okay because you were falling in that, like, absolute quick second. Now, I have no way how you would test this. Maybe somebody knows something more about it just from having more camping experience, but it just seemed really interesting. Could a hammock be the safest place to be in a thunderstorm if you're stuck out in the wild? And I am not going to test that. But it's interesting. I kind of want to know the answer. What do you think, Pecky? Is there lightning in Finland? I'm curious. But clearly, do not try that at home. Or ever. Anywhere. Not even at home. Anywhere. Just don't do it. I think we'll be traveling out west here in a couple months. Well, less than a couple months. Again, I'm looking forward to it, especially now with this camera gear and making videos out there in Colorado and elsewhere. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be the highlight. I kind of want to figure out what I'm doing now with these videos close to home, so when we get out there I can make some real good ones. I don't know where we're going to go yet. I've been to Colorado, pretty much everywhere in Colorado. Except Dinosaur Land up on the northwestern side. Yeah, it was kind of funny this morning, or this afternoon when I was walking up here. There was a gate on the road for the firing range. So when I got dropped off, I started hiking. A caravan came just flying in there up to the gate. They're the ones that have been using the shooting range that you've heard in the background. And it was like the scene from Jurassic Park. I think it was Jurassic Park 2, where they all roll up, you know, with their lights and like a military caravan. Of course, it was led by a minivan, so I don't think that's quite as impressive as a bunch of Jeeps or trucks the same color. You know, it could be like Twister. And speaking of, that's something I would love to try and do sometime. Is try and catch some severe weather photography and video. Of course, not putting myself at risk. When I went to school in Ohio for college, there was one night I thought I'll just go watch thunderstorms. Maybe I'll see a tornado. And I drove off in the middle of the night out someplace. And I'm sitting there in a cornfield wondering, okay. And I'm looking around and be like, it's dark. I couldn't see one coming if it was there. So then I realized the stupidity of my actions and immediately drove back. Thankfully there was no tornado. I think we might have seen a funnel cloud in Texas once. And then there was a weird one in upstate New York, just in the middle of summer, this pop-up thunderstorm over the Finger Lakes, and it threw down a funnel cloud. It was pretty substantial. I think we have a photo of it someplace. I'll go back and take a look, and if I can, I'll stick it in. But yeah, that was crazy. And I went to go buy some bottles of wine for a friend at a winery, and so I start talking to the server, and she was like, man, I just had a weird vision of like a tornado or whatever, like in a dream. And then I showed her that picture of that, and she freaked out. So yeah, I would love to do some weather photography. I know nothing about it, other than, I mean, weather stuff. I know that. Incidentally enough, though, Janine and I have taken the weather training course, just for the heck of it. That was kind of fun. So you get a little card that says, "I've been trained to spot weather." You call in. We called in the funnel cloud up to the Binghamton, the National Weather Service, and they didn't really say much or do anything. No warnings changed. We thought we were doing the right thing. But yeah, good call on the tee. Very good call on the tee. And of course the obligatory pine needles in there too. Camping. Adds tannins. It's the grand finale, Pecky. He's not a big fan of fireworks at home either. Behold my great grill cleaning experiment. I'm not quite sure. I tried burning it off in the fire, but some of it didn't come off. So we'll just kind of see what the little rain does to her. Hopefully it doesn't rust. It's still within the return. It's supposed to be titanium, but you know, is it a titanium alloy? We'll find out. I've been looking around the shelter for any leaks, and haven't found any yet. It's awesome. It's always a bad day when you show up and you fall asleep and you start getting wet in the middle of the night. It's like we're staying dry. What do you think, Becky? We're staying dry? It looks like we got the rain coming down pretty good. It's getting dark out. Pekko and I are going to chill out. Pekko keeps sticking about half of his body out into the rain, so I don't want a wet dog. And let's see here. Pekko, get out of the rain. Becky. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go make sure that he doesn't. What are you gonna do? So it seems as if the least amount of wind is down here. So it looks like we're doing bottom bunk tonight. I think Pekko will like that even more anyway. Okay, I'm actually legitimately proud of myself for this one. So I wrapped the paracord around a tent stake and then put the cord underneath and ran it along there, and now I have my hang time hook. So here in a little bit, I'll be able to throw a movie up and relax. That one I'm proud of. Well, Pecky and I are about winding down for the evening. Going to start to do our chores and everything. It's getting to be about, I don't know, getting close to be 9 o'clock. Rain's been kind of steady. It's been kind of fun. Although I can hear our friends down there blasting some music. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? The rain the rain kind of knocks it out, so that part's good. So, yeah, it was a good hike. We made it up here, did the grilling. Definitely sous vide chicken is delicious, but don't forget your barbecue sauce. Can't believe I forgot the barbecue sauce. Becky just ate his meat. Left the dog food. We still got to get our bear canister, or well, our bear bag hung up. That should be no big deal. And maybe a shot to the privy. That way, once I'm done. I have to get out. It's gonna be raining all night. But the trail's awesome up here. I mean, it's it's a good trail. It's wide and well maintained. No blowdowns, nothing. No rush tomorrow morning. Just gonna kind of take it easy. Janine's picking us up at 10 a.m. I think the rain's supposed to stop by 7. If we're up and not doing anything, since I have nothing to really tear down since I'm staying in the shelter, there's a long loop back around. Might go that way, just for variety's sake. Would be kind of cool. So, we might take a few shots of our, we're saying goodnight here in a few minutes. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just kind of finish up our chores. Make sure everything's clean and put away. And enjoy the sound of the rain. Hey, Pekko? Alright everybody, we're about ready to say goodnight. Over here in the corner, got the bag hung, used the privy. Everything is good. Pekko's a little antsy, I don't know if he wants to roam or something, but he's not going out there in that rain. We went for a little walk, he was marking everywhere he possibly could. I tried to get him to do any last minute poops, but it wasn't happening. So, hopefully relax. I'm going to chill out, watch something on the Hang Time book, and we will see you in the morning. Good night.
Good morning. Pecky, do you sleep okay? It was a good night. Slept really well. Pekko was a little restless in the beginning. He wanted to get out there and roam around. But he calmed down. And, he got into the sticks, which is what Pecky does. So it is foggy out, but the rain has stopped. I think we're going to go ahead and try a little bit of that coffee this morning, taking it easy. No rush. We're pretty much packed up. Don't have to worry about a tent or a hammock or any of that stuff. So, yeah, I think coffee and last night's dog food for breakfast. So yeah, we're just going to take it easy and see how the coffee goes.
Pekko is definitely a bit of a kicker when it comes to the bathroom department. He will go to town after taking a moment. The other ones don't do it. Samsa he doesn't, never. And then Otto does it very rarely. But Pekko, if he has the opportunity, he will do landscaping. So this is the coffee mug setup we're going to give a shot. Titanium, really light. Open it up. And there's a press that basically we get the coffee going, get her up top with the screen. Then after some time, just give her a little push to keep the grounds down. Pekko, how much coffee should we have this morning? The sun poking out and some blue skies. It's turning out to be a nice morning. Well, it looks like I'm having camera fail here. The batteries have died on everything that I've got, and I was in the middle of the coffee sequence. I'm having some not the greatest luck today when it comes to technology, and I'm gonna have to film whatever little bit I can do left with the iPhone with a tripod that doesn't work with it. So yeah, well, let's enjoy some coffee. Good. I want to make real coffee in the morning, but I don't know. We're going to have to do a Starbucks real coffee head to head. We're going to enjoy this coffee, and that might be about it. I'll try to get some shots on the way out, but with both my cameras being dead with the batteries, well, I got one idea. I do. I'll just have to have a nice long music sequence because he won't be hearing anything out of that other camera. All right, guys, that's it from the shelter. Pecky and I are going to go ahead and head on down the trail. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. We're only a few minutes away from the car. Thanks for hanging out with us and going on for a hike. If you like videos like this, please consider liking and subscribing. We're just getting started, kind of dialing in our gear, learning what's kind of fun to film and what's fun to do. So appreciate you being along for this journey. So Pekko and I are going to head back to the car. We just got a few tents to go, and then it's time to go home. Thank you.
How are you? You're all dirty. Oh, look at you. Not too bad. Are you going to pee? Up, up. Up, up. Go ahead. Up, up. Good boy. Ready to go home and see the boys?